The price of Bitcoin is falling, dude. We're going to go back to 12K, no doubt. Welcome, everybody, to the Daily High with your hosts, Matt McGregor and Tone Bays. That was a joke, but the price is falling slightly. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good.
Look at this, man. How good does it feel to have a Monday morning with the price float hovering around $69,000? Couldn't feel better. Couldn't feel any better. Absolutely fantastic. So much to talk about today. Massive bang box trade. Massive weekly close, massive near monthly close. How was your weekend, mate? Any news?
It was good. It was good. I am back in Panama. Had a good weekend with the family in New York after a trip to Miami. Back in Miami in about 7 days. I mean, the election's coming, right?
Sure is, mate. Sure is. So you're gonna be stateside when the results come through?
I'm gonna try to live stream as late as I can, and we'll see how it goes. We got a big party working on it down in Miami.
Brilliant, brilliant. Hey, if anyone's not following me on Twitter, go follow Alphanumetrics. It's just at Alphanumetrics on Twitter. I posted a video from like an hour ago. I saw these lights above the sky of Tokyo right outside my house, and I filmed it for like 20 minutes. I just posted just a random, 3 minutes of it, of these, lights in the sky. Please get in there, get in there. Follow me and tell me what that is. Is it just a projection on the clouds from the below? Is it very, very sophisticated drones? Is it a UFO? Is it UAP? What is it? Tell me. I don't know. You tell me that, and I'll tell you Bitcoin. All right, I'm going to go first because I am so
Yeah,
excited.
go for it. Bang Box is in a trade, but we've been watching it. It's great.
I'm going to start with Bangbox. Hell, on the 15-minute time frame. This is the trade we're currently in. Absolutely the dream sort of trade, what we want here. We entered the trade. Give me a second. Something's looking. That's not right. Something's wrong, Tone. Give me 1 second. That is not right. BTC USD, because we entered that trade. I was about to spiel into something that wasn't quite accurate. Oh yeah, right. Give me 1 second. We entered this trade. We played with the parameters slightly because we thought that like maybe the exchanges are like, hunting us or somebody's hunting us. So give me 1 second. I'm doing this live on air to make it what it really was. Give me 1 second. Uh, just amuse yourself for a second. Um, uh-huh. Shouldn't have given that away, but it is what's happening. All right, so we entered the trade back here, and the trade was instantly a bad one, and I was really really worried here that we were going to get stopped out, but we didn't. We just remained in the trade over the weekend. We came up above break even, and it's just been a tear ever since. This was really 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 interesting today. I was watching this in real time with some friends. We got within $2 of taking profit on that trade. And it would have been about a 4% trade, which would have been fine, overall. But we didn't take the profit and we're still in the trade as is right now. And this line here, just so you know, is 20%. So the trailing stop is down here at maybe like 19% right now. So worst case scenario, we're pulling 19% out of this trade. Absolute banger. Perfect, perfect bang box trade. Absolutely perfect. Nothing more you can say. If you were asleep for all of this, absolutely fantastic. You've got to get on board with this, guys. If you're not using Bangbox and the services that we have for free right now, you're really missing out that this all happened without any discretion while you're asleep. All done. Brilliant. We might be stopping out any moment now, and so we'll come back to review this again at the end of the show, whether we can resolve this or we're going to stop out at like a 19% trade or we can continue up onwards and upwards. The markets have just opened, so it's not surprising that we're having this pullback. Not surprising at all. So we'll review this later on in the show. Now I'm going to go the complete other way and go to the weekly time frame because we've got a brand new week right now. There's a lot of stuff happening on the monthly time frame, but we've got a few days left in the month, so I might leave that for another show. Let's review what happened on the weekly. All right, we're back. I was totally satisfied with that weekly close that we had. We had a bad week overall. That candle still hasn't recovered yet. The red should start from up here. That was it, it was a red candle close, but I'm liking the wick so much, so much. We came back,
Hey
retested the
Matt, it's strange. On my charts, it
yep.
has recovered. Maybe refresh.
If I push
Uh,
don't want to push refresh
um,
because a few things I'll have to rejig everything. So let's just pretend it was up here. It's all the same.
okay.
Price is the same. So we're actually this candle looks bad as well. But anyone who's using the index charts on Bitcoin, they know this game. If you're using just one specific source, like a Coinbase chart or a Binance chart, this is not happening to you. It's just what the index charts do. But you guys know what we're looking at here. I love that we came back down the week, retested down near that 7, the breakout point of that channel, just got overshot that a little bit. Fantastic. Had a fantastic recovery to close the week. And this week's been good thus far, right? Even though we're only 12 hours into it. I really love it. Love everything about this setup. This is a premium setup for a massive breakout right now. The oscillators look sensational. Obviously, we had the phantom signal here, which was brilliant. The RSI looks fantastic. The EXA is getting to that point where we've still got plenty of room to go. We're not looking like a cross is coming at all at the moment. It could happen at any point, but there's absolutely nothing to talk about on the weekly time frame. Everything is all locked and loaded. It's fantastic. I will have to go to the monthly because this is the big show we do on the Monday show. I I love the MRI count. Love the MRI count in the monthly with 3 days and 3.5 days left. This is just looks brilliant for it to set up for next month. I love the EXA on the monthly. If this closes where it is now, next month will be a cross, which it is here, back here. It's going to be a cross on the EXA. The RSI can get back into this great territory. And the copy curve is obviously fine. We'll talk more about the monthly in the next few days. I love where it stands right now. The daily time frame, we've just had an EXA, Socrates EXA cross, brilliant at a great vantage point. So even though the market feels like it's been ramping, the EXA has been pulling down since here. So let's give this some birth. This is what I really like on the daily time frame. We got the MRI top here, and it overshot slightly, but that's where maybe on this candle around this zone here, I suppose on this candle here, we had the EXA cross, and we've gone through that whole period now of the EXA being, on the downside, and we've just had the cross. So despite the fact that we are ramping in the price, to me, it looks like it's just getting started. The MRI suggests it's just getting started. The EXA suggests it's just getting started. The RSI suggests it's just getting started. The copy curve's fine. We're above all the moving averages. Brilliant. Brilliant. There's nothing more bullish it could be. It could possibly be. The fact that it's choppy at the top here means nothing to me. Overall, it looks absolutely sensational. 4 hour time frame. And this will be my last one, Tone. So prepare yourself. Yeah, maybe we're starting to get a little bit overextended because it happens in such a quick amount of time. I'm really, I'm aware of that. But this like W pattern that we put in here was just brilliant. Sorry, I've got this stupid mouse. Let this put it in a low. We came up, retested, put in a higher low, break the neckline. It makes no. Obviously, that's a great breakout trade, but we've stalled here at the top of this W pattern. As soon as we start pushing through these highs here at like 69, I'm really, really excited for some liftoff here, but it is definitely going to be, there's going to be a lot of people at specifically like this $69,000 loading up on 30x leverage trades and whatnot. And the exchanges in the market, they want to eat that. So don't be surprised if we come back to 68. Don't be surprised. Don't FOMO in here. Take all your other chances to get in. To wait right this immediate point. Do not try and enter a trade right now. You should have got in earlier. You're going to get another chance. You're going to get a pullback. But this thing could just rocket. But I do really, truly suspect some hard trading at this exact point that we're in right now. Blowfin has been kind enough to extend this promotion for another week. So spread the words to your friend. Absolutely take advantage of this deposit bonus plus volume. You can get these great deposit things back. I mean, bit fucking buy Bangbox will probably get you close to some of these just by signing up and putting your money in Bangbox. You'll probably hit a lot of these targets just by yourself without doing anything. It's a great bonus. If you're interested in how to set up the bot on the Financial Summit, we have this fantastic video made by my partner Justin. It's right here. Look at it. It's a 5-minute video. Absolutely class video on how to set up the bot on Blowfin. Piece of cake. Tone, I'm coming back to you now. Guys, all of that, all of that is in the am I back? There it is. All of that information on Bangbox and the great Discord group we have, the free Discord group, free bot. It's all the links in the description below. Take advantage of it, guys. We are taking off as a community. It's absolutely fun to be in there, especially you sing when you're winning and the Discord group is singing. Tone, what are you seeing, mate? Did you get in your trade?
No, I will after the show's over,
Yeah,
because I was
it,
setting up for the
it,
show.
it was tricky last Friday, wasn't it? Because
It
it
was
looked
tricky last
fantastic,
Friday.
dropped, and then
Uh,
recovered. You and I were
yeah, I
messaging off,
felt a lot more comfortable in cash over the weekend,
right?
and we did break that line. So I'm just going to go with the highest level time frames, do the same thing you did, Matt. The month is almost coming to an end, and next month we are very likely to break this line that I have as my monthly bullish line. I like to use end of candle closes. The highest monthly close we ever had was $72,000, or just under
And can we get
72.
it in 3.5 days left? I'm sorry to cut your flow, but I have to ask, mate, what is the percentage chance that we have the highest monthly close this month?
I still think it's on the low side. I mean, that's the Bitcoin would still have to move $3,000 more in the next few days. I think it's possible, maybe 50-50, but that doesn't matter really, because next month I am 99% confident next month will blow past it, and it's going to be a green star candle on a monthly chart, kicking off a monthly uptrend, hopefully into a monthly MRI top. So
Wow.
it doesn't matter to me if this month closes above it or below it. In fact, I would almost prefer that we didn't close below 72,000 and then next candle blows past it as a green star candle, but it doesn't really matter
I,
at
I
all.
I agree, mate. And this month has done its job. Just looking at that chart right there, breaking that channel that we finally broke out of, this month has already done its job. It doesn't require an all-time high for that. It's done its job.
Right. Now remember, next week is election in the US and the market is going to go a little bit haywire. So just because we do break, even if we do break this line of 71,500, and now I'm using weekly closes, and the highest weekly close is a little bit different because this candle, oh, it might have ended on the last day of the month actually, or close to it, but it's around that same price, around 71.5. And we are going to get an MRI top. If we keep going higher, there'll be an MRI top the week after the election, or 2 weeks after the election. So that could be a 1 to 4 candle correction. I'm not expecting a correction that, anywhere near the last correction of the last MRI weekly top. Ideally, we get a correction something like this, and like this is back in November. Ironically, it was also November. We got an MRI top in November, the second week of November of 2023. We had two consolidation candles that were both bullish, and then continued right into a massive MRI top that happened the week of the ETFs launching. So I'm expecting something like this to happen again. The weekly coming up on an MRI top later in the mid-November is the closest we have to a potential serious stop, because the monthly is about to get rolling with a monthly green star candle. As I've stated before, this is the third green star candle in the row. The last two were duds, and I am not expecting the third one to be a dud in a row. That almost never happens. I don't know if you can go back through the entire history of Bitcoin and find me something like that where you got three duds in a row. I don't think that happens.
How
So
do you
I am
how
extra
do you
bullish right
feel?
now.
I'm sorry to. I'm just so excited, Ton. I've got some questions, mate. If you go back to the monthly time frame for a second, what are your views on the like a 1 to 4 candle correction on the monthly time frame, like on the MRI? Do you think that's valid? I know that the top wasn't the top of the market, but I view that as very valid when I look at it.
It's fairly valid as a 1 to 4 candle correction because the top of this candle was
Right.
pretty much
That's what I
right
mean.
at
Yeah.
71. And you kind of have to go with candle closes. Yes, the highest close we had was on candle 6, but the MRI candle literally touched that close. So everything in this area to me is a 1 to 4 candle correction.
That's
What
that's
bothers me
that's how I see
more
it. That's how I see it too.
what bothers me more is the red star candle.
Mm.
Now, in the latest code, I do need to update the MRI code a bit. This red star would have disappeared because the candle did not close lower than the prior candle's low. So I do have an updated code that I need to release on the MRI, and that's the only difference is these downward stars would behave a little bit differently. So this red star bothers me, but again, this is still within the realm of a 1 to 4 candle correction. It was just a really, really annoying, tricky one, and it's on a monthly basis.
Mm.
So it's obviously it's a little harder to trade when it's such a large time scale.
Yeah, yeah, well put, mate. Well put.
And now we're getting ready for that green star coming up in about 4 or 5 days. All right, back to the weekly. Let's see if there's anything else to say. The one indicator I want to look at is the CMF. And I like how the CMF is rising a lot faster than the price action. That is a very, very bullish sign. And the indicators on the weekly look very good. Now, what about tones allocation? Well, after this video is over, I'm going to go and look to enter long. I would probably do it after 11 a.m. I will let the 10 a.m. play out. You'll see what I mean when we go to the 1 hour chart. But when we do the show tomorrow, expect this to say either a bullish leveraged position or a 100% long position. I actually do not mind going long leverage here. There's almost nothing that's concerning to me other than the election. The only thing that's concerning is the election. That's it. The election next week. But today is Monday. We still have this whole week to play out, and Trump continues to run away with the polls. That does not mean he's going to win the election. I want to go back on the record. I do not believe that Trump will be the sitting president in the Oval Office on January 20th. I specifically say January 20th. It does not mean he's not going to win the election. I just don't believe he will be the sitting president on January 20th. And I think there is a 50-50 chance he will win the election. And I think there is only a 49% chance he will be sitting in the Oval Office on January 20th. So assume what happens in that 1% area. That is my opinion.
That's an awful, awful thing to think, Tone. I hope that doesn't happen. But I'm very, very.
I hope they can prove me wrong. I hope the Trump team can prove me wrong, but I am
I'd
still
love you to be
very,
wrong.
very skeptical on a Trump presidency.
I'd love you to be wrong, but having Vance there as a sidekick as the Robin makes me pretty comfortable anyway. I like Vance
I
a lot.
know he is the Robin to the Batman, right? But how good would that comic book or movies be if there was no Batman?
No, Robin sucks, but I like Vance. I like Vance.
Right? I mean, Robin is still Robin, right? I don't know how many championships Pippen would have won without Jordan. But
None. He didn't.
and anyway,
Wait,
so
am
here
I?
is
But I'm your fucking Robin, so I don't. So I gotta be careful with what I say here.
and so we have a green star candle on the daily chart. That is absolutely bullish. The daily chart is just getting into the zone. It's absolutely awesome when you have a daily green star candle that's breaking the prior swing high. That is absolutely perfect. You can go back to these scenarios, especially when that prior swing high was an MRI uh, daily top. Again, it's a bit of a stretch on this being a 1 to 4 candle correction, but never even gave you a red star candle. So that is also something to consider. Okay. I am bullish on a daily chart here. The oscillators maybe getting a little, no, they're not getting overheated. The CMF looks great. Someone talked about coming a divergence. I just saw it in the live chat here. Wait, what happened to my weekly chart? Someone said MACD divergence. So this is not really divergence. Um, what you have here is a MACD cross.
That's
This
not
is not a
MACD. That's
divergence.
not MACD divergence at all. Sorry, that's not
Right.
MACD.
So what you need for divergence is the MACD to cross over back to the downside while the price is at a new swing high. Now, neither the price is at a new swing high nor is the MACD crossing to the downside, because if the weekly chart rallies into $102,000, which is my Fibonacci target, I guarantee you that the MACD is going to be at an all new high. And where's your divergence now? So that's not how you analyze MACD divergence. Okay, now let's go to the short-term charts. The 4-hour chart is looking great. Later today, there will be a 4-hour MRI top, unless, of course, we collapse right now and then we break the count. The 4-hour MRI tops happen way more often lately than the MRI buys. And the last time we had an MRI top was literally in this zone. I really like seeing two MRI tops in the same zone. I always treat the second one as a 1 to 4 candle correction, very minor pullback, and then significantly more upside because I don't like double tops. I don't believe in double tops, just like I don't really believe in double bottoms. You clearly have a higher swing low and a higher low close. Now, they are noticeably higher. I would like them to be a little more separated. I like the separation between the low closes. The low close was still a little too close for my comfort. I would have liked to see these, at least $1,000 apart. And I would have liked to see the swing low also $1,000 apart. This one was about 300. The other one was about 500. I would have liked to see them a little further apart. They are too close for my double bottom scenario. And ironically, they both swung into my box. The one thing I was missing was a 4-hour MRI buy. One got to candle number 6, the other got to candle number 7. So unfortunate, I didn't get my buy the dip perfect technical call, but that's okay. I have no problem buying the breakout. I'm even feel more comfortable buying the breakout. Now, the one thing that we have this morning is this 1-hour MRI top on a beautiful reversal candle with a swing low on the following candle. This is what's going to make me, hold up and think about the trade that I'm going to make later today. As long as we are holding this blue line that I have drawn, and this blue line was drawn on the 1-hour chart, it was drawn at $68,850. We are currently above that line. Give me a 1-hour closing candle above that line, and I am in my trade. So that's all I'm waiting for. Right now, I am watching this uh, uh, 1 to 4 candle reversal on the 1-hour chart. The moment this gives me a green star candle, I am also fully in the market. If I go to the 5-minute scale, we can see where we top. We top at the 945 candle. Let's go to the stock market and see where it topped. We'll talk about gold in a second. Here's the stock market 5-minute chart. The stock market topped on the opening candle. So how
Mm.
do I manage this? Well, the opening candle is the swing high. We then pull back and we make the low at exactly 10 a.m. So guess what, guys? While the Bitcoin market had a 10 a.m. Top for a reversal to the downside, the stock market actually had a 10 a.m. low for a reversal to the upside. That is rare. I did not expect this when I opened this chart, but that's what I would have done. We literally did nothing but go down since the opening minutes of the market. And this gives me a 10 a.m. Buying opportunity. And in fact, right now, potentially a double down on that trade. I'm
Mm.
really liking this continuation trade. I could enter a long right here, right now on the S&P as well. In the 10 a.m. reversal trade, assuming I missed the 10 a.m. reversal trade because I did, we were streaming already. This is a beautiful continuation trade. Yes, it's a green star candle on a 5-minute chart. I don't care about that part. I just like that we are continuing going up. I think the S&P will break these swing highs by the time the afternoon comes in. The stop loss is actually right here. It's a very, very tight stop loss. It's very, very clean. I don't need to go all the way. Oh, thought I was going to make that blue. What am I missing here?
Yep.
Very clean stop loss, probably about 3 points on the S&P. 2.5, even better.
There.
That's my stop loss. And the moment it makes 2.5, I am in a break even stop loss. Well, maybe not break even. Maybe I just push it to the bottom of the candle. And the moment next candle breaks the top of current candle, I can then push it into break even. I'm going to leave that be. Maybe we'll come back to it in a few
Have a look at
minutes.
oil, mate. Have a look at oil. You're not gonna believe it. Check out
Let's
oil.
take a look at oil. Oil is going down.
Yeah.
This is probably the switchover of contracts. Uh, probably. Let me see here. Yeah, it's probably the switchover of contracts. I don't think there's this gap, and I think this is a oil switchover.
That doesn't look good, mate.
No, it does look good. It tells you that
You think it looks
the
good?
Middle
What
East
am I?
conflict's probably coming to an end, so it is good.
All right.
I mean, there's
I,
always a silver lining somewhere.
mm, it
Uh,
just takes it
and
takes 3 months to figure that out.
Yeah, this is probably a switchover in liquidity from October expiration to November expiration on the contract, and we can check that, but I'm not going to do it on live air.
All right.
And the drop in oil prices means that perhaps there's not going to be a war between Israel and Iran. The more interesting one is gold. I believe gold has topped for a 1 to 4 candle correction. Keep that in mind as well. The Another reason for the speculation in gold prices is probably the whole BRICS meeting. BRICS
Mhm.
had a big meeting in Russia that was earlier this week. A lot of people believe that BRICS is going to launch its own currency backed by commodities, especially gold. I do not believe this is the case. I do not believe that BRICS is interested in launching a gold-backed currency. I don't think BRICS is very interested in launching a currency at all. I think BRICS is more focused on competing, building the rails for currency transactions like a
Have they
competitor to Swift, not a
have they
competitor to Bretton Woods.
they've they've released notes already. They've actually released fiat currency. Is that a meme that I mistake that? There is
No, they have not released their own currency. There is some kind of a picture of Putin holding some kind of a note that
yes.
looks like a bill. That is the joint BRIC currency. I think this is similar to another like mini troll by Russia, just like sticking a North Korean flag by Russians on some of the territory that they took from Ukraine. Honestly, I think they're just trolling the Western media.
Right.
I don't believe BRICS is going to issue its own brand new currency. It also doesn't really make sense. I think they are going to try to work with the currencies of the countries, but the more gold each of those countries has, the more confidence other countries will have in that country's currency, regardless if that currency is backed by gold or not. Saifedean actually made this point in his first book, The Bitcoin Standard, where he said if you look at it historically, even though no currency is backed by gold, currencies that have been most stable throughout the last 50 years are currencies that are rumored where the country has the most gold backing them. So even though it's not a direct backing, the fact that that country is holding a bunch of gold keeps their currency stable. Maybe it's a psychological thing or whatever it is, right? So the more gold China holds, the more gold Russia holds, the more gold India holds, the more stable their currency will be perceived, even though it's not a direct backing, right? It also shows responsibility of that country's currencies. Here's another example. There is no, you can't say like it could be, oh, you can't say that because this person has a good credit score. It means they're a good businessman. You can't make that correlation. No, you can make that correlation, right? If a person has a good credit score, that means that person is very responsible with their money. Therefore, they are more likely to be very responsible with their business, right? If you've ever gone into business with a partner that is a freaking genius, but then you're like, yeah, his house is a total mess when I go there, and it looks like, like it just like a bomb exploded there. And I know he's got really bad credit, and I know he's irresponsible with his finances, but man, he's a genius in his craft. I'm gonna go into business with this guy. I guarantee you that ended in disaster because that's how it ended for me in my business
Yeah,
dealings with people,
yeah,
right? So
we've all been there, brother. We've all
yeah,
been.
we've all been there, right? So it's the same thing. If your country is responsible enough to have a bunch of gold in its treasury, if you're El Salvador, you're responsible enough to hold Bitcoin on your treasury, guess what? You're probably responsible enough with your financial minister to try and maintain a proper, peg of your currency. That's where the correlation comes in. So the more gold these BRIC countries have, the more responsible they are, and the more responsible they are perceived by their trading economic partners. So this correlation is absolutely true.
Let's
Uh,
review your 10 a.m. reversal on the S&P 500 quickly, and we'll wind her up, eh?
oh my God, look at that. Look at that. So this is what I mean by sometimes when a 10 a.m. reversal isn't perfect, you're still able to pick up a continuation trade or even double up on your 10 a.m. reversal trade if you become more confident in that trade. I like to double up on my trades when they're in the green, not when they're in the red. This is now a beautiful rise, only 5 points, no big deal, but the structure of it is absolutely awesome. This is not only a break-even trade. I would set my stop loss in the middle of this expanded range candle. I can now drop this. There's my entry. There's my stop loss. Worst case scenario on 2 contracts, I am now making, well, not that much, only 250 bucks, enough for a very good stake. But the moment the current candle ends, my stop loss goes to the bottom of that candle, and now it's closer to a $400 day on just 2 contracts. And at this stage in my life, I would be trading a lot more than 2 contracts. Okay, on this note, Bitcoin probably popping as well, right? Yeah,
It's
no,
just
not really, which is
just
good for me because I haven't entered my trade yet.
come back to me for a second. We'll just review the bang box trade in real time to wind her up.
Yep, and one more thing I want to say is, man, if this week is a monster week, we're gonna close October with 50,000 purchased Bitcoin. We can rival the July purchases in Bitcoin, and that would only be behind March and February of this year, which were massive months. If I go back to the monthly chart, we can go back to the months of March and February. This is February, that is March, right there. March and February. Look at these massive monthly candles, and current month is about to come, not, well, it'll be the third largest. It'll rival the month of July, which is this green month right here. And imagine what would happen if the following month picks up another 50,000 Bitcoin. It will be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Matt, back to you.
Yeah, that's fantastic, mate. Look, we'll wind the show up. It's been an absolute cracker of a show. Get on board the Bang Box train, guys. It's an absolute fantastic trade to be in, and we've been really doing really great stuff. All right, thank you so much. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Like and subscribe, share it with your friends. It's the fastest growing community on the internet. I thought I'd say that. Don't know if it's true, but it's definitely not true. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys. I might try to do a show with Mark tomorrow. If I do, Matt, jump in the beginning and then we go from there.
Can't wait, mate. Thank you so much.
Later, guys.